So hello everyone, welcome to my review of Darling Info episode 12. I think it was a really good episode, one of the best episodes so far. Very world building, very character building, a very nice episode. So first of all, of course, we have Zerotwo's true form, right? Very Oni. And I mean, I want to say I was like, I was definitely a believer in the blue and red Oni, right? It's generally kind of a hero transformation, and of course, I want to see some get better on it. But I was definitely on, definitely thinking that's absolutely happening, right? I mentioned that armor use up to episode 6, that he's gonna transform. He had a blue heart thing, she is red, he's blue. It made perfect sense. So yeah, that's definitely back on the table here by far, right? Because you see him talking about it. They're like, oh yeah, her saturation or saturate or something like that, yeah, some made up word, some saturation, yeah, is going further, right? Oh, she's transforming, and he's also gonna genetically transform and so on. So they're all confirming it, and it arguably is a slower pace than that they could have done that episode 6, right? Because there was really building up to that, and it just didn't happen. It's like, oh, he healed himself, but it's clearly gonna happen, right? I think it's just there's no way they're gonna turn into a blue hero eventually. I think that's very, very unlikely, especially now when he's getting strangled. So that's probably gonna happen next or 2 episodes from now. Yeah, probably. I think next episode is gonna be a flashback, right? We're gonna see her as a child in her like demon form before she looked more human, and Hiro, I guess, before he got his injection and forgot about his memories. That's probably next episode, right? It's probably gonna be a full flashback episode. And after this, or during the episode, I'm guessing he's probably gonna transform her. She's like super angry now, going completely berserk inside the mecha, right? And that's probably will trigger his transformation. That's what I would guess, because he's trying to like pretty much drain his life force to the fullest, forcefully doing it right now. So that's probably what's gonna happen. And I think we will see next week on what will be about it. Yeah, but definitely something blue and red only. Then it can be different things happening. We know that it can do. 2 girls can do it and so on. So I still want to see in my theory that he's gonna be in the female form, and or the female, not necessarily a female, but being in the the one in the front and she's behind with the mecha. Yeah, I think that's hopefully what we're gonna turn into. But at least something is gonna transform me, and they're gonna change up the power strike. Definitely, I think that's very clear. Hopefully, at least. Yeah, I'll be disappointed if he doesn't turn blue, right? Yeah, I'll be disappointed if he doesn't turn into the blue Oni. Consider that, especially when I see her having a red skin, very much an Oni. But anyway, rest of the episode then is until the strangle moment. It was very good. Yeah, I like the whole world building. It's building up on the thing we have with Zerotwo, where he was meeting obviously his mom, and they were like, oh, the parents addiction so on. So here we see the garden, and we see them like they have like, I don't know, the weird mecha, the tinker hat kind of on these kids, right? Forcing them to learn stuff, injecting them with more yellow blood cells, and forcing them to become weaponry, like living bioweapons, so on. So a lot of that. So a lot of build up on the how apparently there are more Cesaros, right, and so on. So I think there's a lot of information. Let's try to break it down as good as we can from what we know. So first of all, I think it's important to talk about the nines, right? They seem to all be like her, don't they? And she's the key, he says. But I mean, he said very specifically, oh, trying to be a human, like, or act as a human. Like, so he seemed to be a human. They all seem to be as Zerotwo, right? Some kind of half human, half Cesaros, something like that. It was very heavily implied, at least, that he's like, I tried to be human. Yeah. So I'm guessing that, and there's some kind of special force, right? So would make sense. And also, I like that he's very antagonistic there. Because I have this earlier theory, right? That you're going to revolt against Papa. So I think it's very clear that eventually, especially with Zerotwo loving them so much, they have to go against the government, right? And seeing these guys, they kind of have a higher rank in the government of the parasites, being like, oh, you're fools, yeah. This guy is probably going to be the main guy to fight, right? He and his team is going to be the opposition force, right? Protecting the Papa, I think. They probably know what's happening, and they like it for some reason, right? That's what I would think, at least. I think he's definitely going to be a future antagonist, and he's going to defend whatever current government they have, right? I think that's what it's built up to be, at least. So that's one thing I think is very important in this episode. And then generally, they seem to be very well aware that she's right. We have the whole Gosha red, but I like the moment they're fighting her, injecting her and so on in the snow thing. And I guess I kind of researched how make better ones. It's interesting though because she's supposed to be the key for some reason. So as a narrative, it probably means that the older kids, as her, I'm guessing, are similar version to her, but she's the best one. Yeah. She's the main character, so she's probably the one that is most demon. The other ones are kind of like, oh, they have a little like demon blood, but she's like full demon, then a little human inside of her. Yeah, we made her become a human. The other way around, probably, right? Yeah, that's probably something like that. She is the prototype of like the most demonic thing, or Clashrox, whatever, alien, whatever they are. And you know, that's why she's a key, right, for humanity. If they can make more of her, I think that's what it probably means generally. If they can make more Zerotwos, they can, you know, whatever the goal is, they can get the planet right. That's probably the main thing I think what he means. That she is the key. She's the key by being the prototype of this the full demon right there. If you get more of her, you can have a better army, and also if Hiro can be transformed into one, it also shows them that, you know, they can create more, right? So I think that's a big thing about it. Then we have the whole almost sexual scene. We have two of those. We have one in the library, one in the garden later on. I think this first one is pretty nice. She's trying to kiss him. She's the Franxx. She's being afraid. Obviously, could have kissed a little faster. Then doing like, I could have done a little faster. That's probably what I kissed there. But the second scene, I do feel a little light. Probably my lowest point episode. In one way, you know, I wish they would have sex. I think the anime has a lot of animes which like, man, they probably should have sex here, and they just don't do it. And of course, it's very implied she's confused, and I mean, I love you, but not in that way. It's like, how do you mean it then? Like, you know, here's my body. Like, you don't love me? I love you, but not physically. Like, what? Yeah, like, it's confusing. Of course, he loves her physically as well, but he doesn't want to abuse her or whatever, right? But that was a situation where you really feel that, well, maybe she actually wants to have sex here, or she actually, I think, really wants to have sex here, and he's kind of like, no, I'm not sure yet. Yeah, it's more him, of course, but you have to wonder there if that is the best play you can do, right? Because if you have sex with her there, she might actually calm down, so to speak. Yeah, because she's all like, you don't love me, or you can't love me because I'm not a human, I'm just a demonic, ugly, red thing. And he's like, no, I love you. If you love me, you know, yeah, have sex with me. Like, no, I don't want sex right now, I'm a virgin. It's like, I don't want to be virgin here in the snow. I mean, I get it in a lot of aspects, he doesn't want to do it there. He feels that she's, you know, very, you know, putting a lot of pressure on him, of course. She's very sexually pretty much him. That's very unacceptable. But also, yeah, it's really weird. She's angry and she has the thing going for her and blah blah and so on, right? But I think generally though, that if he actually has sex with her there, she probably wouldn't be straightly eliminated, right? Yeah, but seriously, because her problem is no one accepts me as a human, right? And she's like, you know, let me, you know, fuck you right now, or I will, you know, go crazy. And he's like, I love you, but no, yeah. Like, that's a bad play here, though. It's a really bad play. I mean, if I was in a situation, not saying that just because obviously we all want to do best girl, but it really feels like, yeah, you probably should say yes there, because her problem is she wants to be a human, right? And she's afraid that him and also accepts him as a human, if he mates with her, so to speak, that probably makes her feel a lot better. I mean, like, just mentally, that, oh yeah, so much sex with me, meaning they look at me as the same race as that, yeah. That is awesome, right? Of course, she's very forceful, so she might feel that she's forcing into it. But I think generally she would be really happy, you know, regardless of how good the actual act would be. Him doing it with her would make her feel way, way happier. So I think that's a, you know, I think it actually was a little poor in that scene, because logically he should say yes there, both from being a teenage boy, he's dating like the hottest girl in the universe, kind of, right? Yeah, and thirdly, like strategically wise, to make her, you know, calm down and, you know, like being you know, allied with the human race, whatever. It also would make a lot of sense that he would, like, you know, okay, I do with her here, so she will not be angry at us humans, right? I'll take the bullet, yeah, taking the grenade, taking the grenade when it's a best girl. But it really would be, so I think it's annoying, because I do feel that the main reason they don't do it there is because it's like, well, this is kind of a shonen anime, so we can't have sex, you know, and they don't need to show the sex. We can show her, you know, getting naked on top of him, and then it's over, right? Yeah, dressing off, and then we don't have to see the actual scene, but you can show, okay, they had sex, right? Yeah, I think that would be a way better scene there. I think it would make a lot more sense if he did it right, because it's just like how any other normal human would act. You know, they're not normal humans, but it's just both that, I mean, the whole teenage hormone thing, but also generally, yeah, she's like a super angry half something alien demon something with you right now, asking you, am I human? It's like, you're human, but I will not sleep with you. Like, what? It's like, yeah, that is probably not how she's gonna read it. That's probably why she's trying to kill you like 10 minutes later, because she's pissed off that you didn't sleep with her. That's a big reason why she's revolting now and, you know, trying to murder you, because you didn't accept her love invitation. Yeah, she's very, very forceful, and it's definitely, I mean, borderline, you know, rape for her. Yeah, she's pretty much raping him, right? But it's like kind of like, yeah, well, no, she's gonna kill you instead. So you probably should have played it card differently, man. No, but really, I think it's a forced, right? Because normally that would happen, and I just think that if it was a Saiyan or Yossi anime, like if it was Berserk or whatever, they would have done it in the snow, definitely. Yeah, if it was Berserk, they would have done it like 10 times over by now. Well, I mean, they would have done it there in the snow, and it would make a lot more sense, actually. Yeah, because obviously he would be, oh, what is this sex thing? Yeah, I wanna know. So you're not alone. It feels almost like, I don't know. This is just me throwing out here, but they're living in a world where they have no information at all about sex and so on. Yeah, they have you know, they have removed all the books and everything, right? And everyone keeps saying, oh, there's so much, you know, porn out here, and, you know, all the children are getting so, you know, affected by it. Maybe, but at the same time, if there's absolutely no information, like zero information, like no one, they have no parents telling them, they have nothing telling them about, you know, whatever. It feels like that also should invoke a lot of activities between the children, because they're like, they have no, you know, no knowledge at all. They're just teenagers, and they're, you know, always like doing stuff together in this mecha and this weird sexual empowerment thing between each other. That probably will lead to even more sex, right? Because they have so little information. They should all be really curious. What is these things? Yeah, they should also be like, oh, grab this thing. Yeah. So I think actually, just for being, you know, curious. What is this sex thing you're talking about? Okay, let's try it out. Yeah, I think most guys would be like, yeah, I don't know what it is, but I want to try it. Yeah, like that's probably how most would react. Actually, yeah. If anything, you would be like, yeah, let's try it. You know, we're living in a freaking like, you know, prison garden thing. Yeah, let's do it. Anyway, the last thing about that is the name garden itself, right? Sci-fi. Yeah, if you watched any sci-fi movie, any sci-fi television, more television, I guess. Played numerous, especially European games, but also some Western European games. Something called the garden. It's always bad, right? Something called the garden, where they have like little children being trained in this laboratory. It's like, yeah, it's gonna be bad. You never go to a place in a blizzard, this weird like, you know, omnibus snowstorm thing, and there's like this white building with a little orange thing in the top of it. That is never good. It's never gonna be good in there. You enter that place and it's gonna be like, okay, here they have like children fused with demons. It's gonna be something weird. It's gonna be children with like, you know, mecha cyber things forced to eat this thing and turn into this thing. It's gonna be something really fucked up, right? And here we see it again. They enter this thing. Children are being kind of, I don't know, information tortured or something inside this thing, right? I don't know what to say, but it's like, yeah, it's cliche, but I don't know, I kind of like it, right? But it's in every other sci-fi ever, right? If it's basically like the garden, or what's it called, like Steven Universe? They have a garden there, where they had this kind of place where they all Emma Stone born and so on, something similar to the playground, yeah, it's called the playground, yeah, it's just like a good name for it, yeah, the garden, the playground, something that sounds like it should be a nice ride. It sounds like children should be very happy. Yeah, the kindergarten. That may be called kindergarten. Whatever, yeah, something, you know, a place where children are acting and playing. No. Something is called that. It's always something horrible. Something seriously wrong, right? When they have those some horrible experiments. And we see here, of course, they're improving the experiments. They're making them faster and more tedious and more painful, right? That is how it always is in every anime. A place called the garden cannot be good. If you go like Eden or something, it has to be bad. Yeah, it has to be a horrible place. Especially if there's children involved. Yeah, if it's like, oh, let's go to the Eden where children are born. Okay, that's a bad place. I don't want to go there. There's always something horribly happening there. And it's like, how are children made? I don't know, Papa just created those out of the garden. It's like, yeah, that sounds bad. That sounds really bad. So, but anyway, I love review. I love this episode. It was a great episode. For me, it's 10 out of 10 episode. It really is. I think it had so much world building, so much character building. A great episode. Finally, we see the true form of Best Girl. And obviously, she's even more attractive now. I think the only thing that really down for me is still not a sex right, but I get it, like a narrative thing, because he didn't do it now, that means that she can strangle him now. You know, that's kind of why she's angry at him, right? A lot of reasons why, right? And that's just how she can like force eat his soul now. We get the flashback from that. So it's a little forced narrative, but I still like it a lot. But I wish they could maybe not go against it. It would be nice to see an anime that is not seinen or shoujo to kind of have the guts to say, I know, let's have sexist characters. Especially as this anime is so sexually toned. But anyway, hope I review, and I'll see you guys next week.